Y'all, here we go. I need the entire village on this situation. Y'all trigger one, and it's about to piss you all the way off. Y'all, this is a new episode of I Can't Make This Shit Up. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a major trigger warning. And because I'm already so pissed off, I'm going to go ahead and get straight on into it.
Wait a minute. My battery's low. Let me...
Look, almost 2 years ago, 18 months to be exact, a woman driving under the influence with her children in the car fatally strikes a teen. The trooper blames the 17-year-old, and the driver has no charges for the death in nearly 2 years. Y'all, I ain't even got to say it. You already read it. You already know what it is. I'm going to tell you right now, we need this entire village. It's all hands on deck with this situation. I'm gonna go ahead and post a petition at the end of this. Y'all want the rest of this story? I need y'all to hit me up on my YouTube page, but I'm gonna put what I can right here. Without further ado, let's talk about this shit. So 17-year-old Obianuju was headed home from work. She was on her electric bike, okay? So she was riding home from work. It's like 9 o'clock at night when she was struck from behind by Chrissy Rollins' ass, okay? Chrissy was clearly under the influence, you all.
Officers on scene suspected Rollins was under the influence based on her dilated pupils and slurred speech.
Well, and as I stated in the opening, this woman had 2 young kids in the back seat of the car. So, it's alleged that Chrissy says that she knew she hit something, but she was unaware of what she hit because there was no reflectors or something like that on the bike.
According to a Georgia State Patrol incident report, Rollins told responding officers she didn't know what she hit and that it was dark and she didn't see any lights or reflectors. The officer notated he did not see any lights.
Y'all, literally, that is the same position that the state attorneys and also the officers on the scene have basically taken, because this beautiful 17-year-old didn't have a fucking light or a reflector on her bike. That means that somebody gets away with murdering her. So let me go on to also tell you that the police officers on the scene suspected that Chrissy ass was under the influence, so much so, and I'm sorry, because she had dilated pupils and so on and so forth. So they were so convinced that she was under the influence that, baby, they gave her a field sobriety test that bitch failed, okay? She failed the field sobriety test. So they locked her up, or detained her, so to speak, on a DUI. That means they literally issued her a DUI citation that night, y'all. But they are yet to file any murder charges against this woman who killed somebody while she was under the influence. Baby, if I tell you it gets worse, baby, it gets worse. Y'all, matter of fact, let me pause right now, calm myself down, and let y'all watch this video. And then I'm gonna be back. Y'all can't wait for the comments.
Here in 8 months since Pauline Oswagbu was last able to speak to her daughter, 17-year-old Obianuju Oswagbu.
It's unreal that somebody who murdered a young girl is going around freely. Nothing is happening.
Around 8:40 on the evening of August 23, 2020, the 17-year-old was riding her electric bike from her job at a local supermarket in Winder, Georgia, about 48 miles northeast of Atlanta. As she was about a quarter mile from her home, she was hit from behind by a Ford Taurus driven by 43-year-old Chrissy Rollins. According to a Georgia State Patrol incident report, Rollins told responding officers she didn't know what she hit and that it was dark, and she didn't see any lights or reflectors. The officer notated he did not see any lights. However, officers on scene suspected Rollins was under the influence based on her dilated pupils and slurred speech, so they gave her blood tests revealed she had anxiety, seizure, and motion sickness medications in her system, as well as methamphetamine at the time of the fatal crash.
Ms. Rollins was visibly intoxicated to the point that the officers charged her with DUI. She had 2 small minor children in the back of the car. They charged her with endangerment of children. DUI, she had endangerment of children.
Despite Rollins being arrested for DUI, she was not charged for hitting and killing Oswagbu.
At minimum, is having a red reflector on the back of the bicycle.
Bruce Hagan, Oswagbu's attorney, says the trooper's incident report was not correct.
They never determined this lady's speed. They never tried to determine braking distance. Did she even brake? They never tried to determine the speed of Mrs. Sweetblue's vehicle, or her bike rather, as she was going along, to determine relative difference in speed. They didn't do any of these things.
The report claims Oswagbu didn't have a reflector on her electric bike and wasn't wearing a helmet, which Hagan denies, saying her bike did have a reflector.
Now, all the many flaws in the report, as well as the issues with the toxicology, the supervisor at State Patrol made it clear that they're not going to do anything to correct this report unless the district attorney tells them to do so.
The DA's office sent us to the Solicitor General, Kyle Sherry, who told us by phone the DA is the only office that can bring felony charges, but since the state trooper's report failed to attribute Rollins' DUI to the cause of the crash, the DA sent the case to the Solicitor General, which handles misdemeanors. Sherry says his office is still investigating, but anticipates filing a misdemeanor charge against Rollins.
Y'all, it is utterly ridiculous that this beautiful baby has so far died in vain. Literally minding her own business, coming home from a hard night of work and just trying to make it home. And the fact that she didn't make it home, that she died literally just a few blocks short of her making it to her front door. And to this day, her family is unable to even grieve because they are still looking for some sort of justice. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, we need the whole village. I don't know what the hell is going on in rural areas of Georgia, but that shit needs to stop. It needs to end here. And this beautiful baby deserves justice. Meth, y'all? I can't make this shit up. Here come the next story.
We talked to believes the video may show this was justified. A warning, what you're about to see is hard to watch.
54-year-old Tracy Gaeta was shot and killed by Stockton police February 22nd. Stockton police releasing multiple surveillance videos and body camera video showing the moment leading up to the shooting. And
look, let's talk about this situation. And y'all know, per usual, I got an opinion. So a California woman was killed after a Stockton police officer fired 30 shots into her car. 30 shots. Y'all, I'm going to go ahead and leave my opinion to the end. But I want y'all to watch this shit. And by all means, leave a comment. I'll holler at you after the video clip.
This video shows an officer stopped at a red light when the driver of a gray car hit the officer's car before driving off. That prompted a pursuit, and police say Gaeta made a U-turn on the on-ramp of I-5. Surveillance video shows Gaeta driving down a one-way and blowing through a red light. The pursuit ends at Rollerson Road at a dead end. A Stockton canine officer pulls in behind her, and that's when this happens.
19 is ramming me. He's ramming me.
Copy.
16 seconds after the officer initially opened fire on Gaeta, the body camera video shows her vehicle moving forward. The officer opens fire again as Gaeta begins to drive. While attempting to turn her car around, the officer opened fire again. In total, about 30 gunshots can be heard in a span of about 32 seconds.
I feel like they wrongfully killed my mom. There were so many other ways they could have went about it.
Probably put pretty high odds they're going to say it was a justified shooting, and I suppose you could justify it. On the other hand, it just seems like this was unnecessary as well.
Stuart Katz, an attorney with decades of experience working on police shooting cases, says it will be easier to justify the officer unloading the first magazine, but the second is questionable.
She's thoroughly trying to drive away at that point, in my mind, but she's not driving towards him at that point either. She's not backing up again. She's trying to get away.
Now, y'all heard what the experts said, right? And okay, I'll give it that, right? The first clip, okay, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You shooting in there. Obviously, you getting the attention. Whoop, 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 whoop. The second clip, though, definitely questionable. If y'all don't know, California has a new law that says that police officers cannot fire upon someone who is fleeing. That lady was clearly fleeing. My whole thing is, what if she was having a medical emergency? Like, what if something else was happening? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm confused. Why not just let her ass leave? You got her plate. You're going to find her. Y'all. So then here's my other opinion. Two things. One, they're gonna mess around and maybe call it justified, at least initially. Or two, he actually gonna face charges, because if you haven't noticed, per his hands, he was black. And I'm gonna tell you something. It was something that I've seen in covering a lot of these police, cases, is that it always seems as though the people who do end up charged for their crime are black. I'm just saying, it's only an observation. Anyway, y'all see you in the comments. Tell me what you think. And rest in peace to Miss Tracy. If you all are not following me yet or subscribed yet to my YouTube page, trust you me, honey, that's where this gets even better.
I'm battery low.
All right, guys, if you're not already, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, Facebook Reels.